Hello, friends, for night 7. Haven't been able to do it during the day, so that's why it's night 7, but we've said we were going to go live for 100 straight days. We started on Inauguration Day, so we, halfway kidding, called it Joe Biden's 100, or Joe Biden's first 100 days. This is not a live stream about politics, but we did start on the same day that our current president was inaugurated. And as I mentioned, we are on day 7. So wanted to start out like I have on all of my other live streams so far, encouraging you in 2 areas, and then get right into what we want to talk about. We're going to camp out on one primary topic tonight and then call it a night, but we are going live at least an hour earlier than we've gone any other night. So it's 10:30 Central Standard Time here in Texas. So welcome if you're on Facebook, if you're on Twitter / Periscope, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, I've already said. So Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. Welcome. And thanks for joining me. So yeah, what I've been encouraging people to do, 2 primary things, is if you don't have a YouTube channel, create one. If you want some help, just ping me, send me a direct message. Be more than happy to give you my thoughts, pointers, some of the things that I've learned. I'm not the newest kid on the block, but I also am still growing my YouTube channel and presence just as much as many other people that I know out there. But so start a YouTube channel. If you've already got one, find some time, schedule some time every week to spend some time on it. I'm not saying you necessarily have to come out with a video every week, although that would be optimal, even if it's once a month, but find some time each week to invest in your channel. Second one is I highly encourage you to create and manage an email list. In this day and age where social media is very volatile in many ways, where you have to pay to play, as they say, if you really want to get your message out there on social media. Organic reach is down considerably, and it has been for a while. So you can certainly be successful with Facebook ads, Instagram ads, but I just read actually the other day with Instagram ads, someone was suggesting that if you have a Instagram page, for example, and you start doing ads, your organic reach will tank even more when you stop doing those ads, placing those ads, and you have to wait several weeks, maybe several months before your organic reach picks back up to where it was. And even when it picks back up to where it was, unless you're one of the lucky few, it is low compared to what it used to be, at least. So create an email list. I highly recommend that you do that with a free platform called ConvertKit. So you can go to strammel.info/ConvertKit and get a free account, be able to manage up to 1,000 subscribers. And that's actually where we're going to camp out tonight and talk about email marketing some. I use that term broadly, but it doesn't necessarily have to be marketing, quote unquote. It could just be your way of staying engaged with a community of people. Even if you're not in a business, if you don't want to use it for business, I would still suggest that it's better than just keeping groups in Google or Gmail or whatever. And not only that, you'll be building some skills if you've never used a platform like that you may actually decide to turn and pivot and use it for either a business you already have or one that you may end up starting. And email's not dead. I actually, for quite a while there, was kind of bought into the idea that email is dead and went down the route of doing messenger marketing, and as cool as that is and as effective as that is, I realized that hey, email is not dead. And not only is it not dead, it's one of the only ways, if not the only way, other than a Rolodex. Let's be honest. It's one of the only ways where you own or have in your possession, if you will, and can control the distribution of your content, your message, whatever it is you want to communicate with your community. With email, you still own that. Now, there is this concept of deliverability, and you do have to work on making sure that your emails are delivered in someone's inbox instead of in their spam box and those types of things. But with an email list and with some automation that you can get through a platform like ConvertKit, you're not dependent on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube for that matter, or Twitter, any of the other social media platforms to show your post or show your message to your community. Again, you're probably lucky if you're getting 6% or so. So in other words, if you have, what's the math? If you have, let's just make it easy. If you had 100 followers, then you're lucky if 6 people see what you're posting. So I'm not telling you anything that you probably don't already know, but I'm not so certain that the message of create an email list, or the fact that email is still a relevant thing, I'm not so certain that that's a consistent thought out there among the masses. So many of the people that I'm connected with are either coaches, consultants, real estate agents. Maybe they're into the retail space, online, e-commerce, people that own restaurants, various different things, and all of those and others, builders can certainly use email and reach more people, arguably, than through social media, unless they do have and decide to maintain a budget to do ads. And I'm going to look over, I've actually got some notes that I wanted to share. I'm going to look over and share those and just give you some thoughts on email. And so roughly half of all adults in the U.S. admitted to checking their email before they even get out of bed. So it may be hard to believe, but that's the case. Over half of adults. So I don't know how many adults there are in the United States, but there's 200 and something million total people. So let's just assume that a third of those are adults, because there's probably more kids than there are adults. A third of that. So what's that? 75 million, something along those lines, and half of those. So what's that? 35 million or so people are looking at their email before they even get out of bed. This was a recent study done by Adobe. And it says here also the fact that people actually like reading email and consistently rate it among their top ways to stay connected. So I think that and many other studies prove the fact that email is a viable way to reach your community, to reach your audience, and to gain new people, to bring more people into the fold, if you will. And I can attest to that 100% through, in a sense, my own experiment. And I've shared this before, but by way of example, I'll share with you one of the tests that I've done, and it is mostly a test in a sense, but it has value beyond the testing. I've built an email list of almost 3,000 people, and this is literally international. So I've got people from Nigeria, France, Germany, Australia, United States, of course, Poland even, I think, and various other places, through one video on YouTube. And this is even a curated video, so it's not a video that I actually created myself. It's not of me, but in that video, there's a free offer in the description of the video, and over 3,000 people have subscribed to my email list to get that free offer. And that's quite common. I'm sure many of you have signed up to get on an email list for a free offer. Now, the real test, if you will, is conversion, right? How many people have you converted to customers, if you will? Now, that's kind of the next evolution of my test, if you will. I'm still building that list, but the next logical step would be to begin to court those individuals, if you will, at least from a business perspective, provide value, and then, if you've got an offer, if it's valuable, then people are going to take you up on it. If it's not, then they won't. So, it's a win-win situation. If you've got something of value, if you're solving a problem for someone or giving them direction, then obviously you're winning, they're winning. So I have no shame in sending out emails with an offer at some point for a service or for a product, that type of thing. And we're always, open and upfront, letting people know, hey, you're going to get an email occasionally. So I do have some what are called sequences in ConvertKit with some automations that would send out various different things. And I've got people segmented. That's all of this is what ConvertKit can do for you. So I can take a segment of, let's say, people that use StreamYard. So StreamYard is the software that I use, or the service that I use. It's cloud-based live streaming. That's the service that I use to go live on all these platforms. And, I have people that use StreamYard that have joined one of my email lists, and I'm able to segment them and then send them emails that are specific to that, because I've designed overlays. I'm using a hardware device called the A10 Mini, and you can create macros that allow you to up your game, I'll just say it that way, with your live stream. So there's many ways that I'm providing value to that community. I'm also have a group of coaches. So hello, ULA coaches out there, where I address and try to help them with their technical or their technology challenges, primarily is what we do there in that group. And so hopefully if you're getting value out of that, let me know. A lot of different things, a lot of testing as well. So I have a good perspective, I think, on what can work and what may or may not work. Obviously, everyone's experience is different because their community may be different. The way they deliver may be different. And I'm learned my lesson, like I said, from the first one, to have some water. So I'm going to take a drink here real quick. And by the way, I want to talk about, ever so quickly, Deliver Fund. Deliver Fund is an organization that I'm connected with that basically their goal is to end human trafficking in 5 years. And so they're on a mission to do that. So go and look up deliverfund.com. Great friend of ours, great mission that they have, and I fully support them. And by the way, if you just thought about this today, if you have a business and you have a cup or a hat or anything, and you'd actually like to be featured in this next 94 days, more than happy to do it. I'm not looking to profit off of that, or it's not like I need more clothes or more coffee mugs, honestly. But I thought, what a neat thing possibly to get, expose some of my friends or those that are in my community connected with me one way or another. If you've got something you would like to, if you've got a business, service, whatever, and you'd like to basically, kind of be promoted simply. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but I'm more than happy to do that. It'd be kind of cool. I'm here to be a cheerleader as well. That's one of the things that I really enjoy seeing out there, if you will, is all of us supporting one another. It's like my YouTube channel. I do my best to find different ways to promote the way, the fact that I have a YouTube channel out there that I believe is Excuse me. This is part of live. It seems like when I go live is when my nose itches or when I need to cough or whatever. So it's just the way that it is. But I actually like going live better than I do pre-recording because it's done. It's over. There are mistakes, yes, but I think people are willing to accept the fact that it's live. It's not perfection. And so we move on. But what I was saying is I believe that we should support each other, help each other out. And in the spirit of that, if you've got a YouTube channel already, got a Facebook page, got a Facebook group, let us know in the comments what you're doing there. Give us the link. I'd be more than happy to facilitate, through this, letting people know about what you're doing. So would love to promote what you're doing and get the word out. Just a couple more things, and I think we're actually going to end this. Number one of the things that are left that I want to talk about is I did want to mention real quick, if you've noticed in the first 6 days, and we'll do this all 100 days unless we have some type of technical difficulties, we've got music playing in the background. That's from Soundstripe, so you can see the link up on top there on the banner. It's a great source if you want to have music kind of running in the background like I am with this live stream, or you want to have great music to use in a YouTube video that you may do, or wherever you're doing video, Facebook, literally in a theater, for example. We did a public service announcement for a nonprofit that I'm a part of. We have the ability to add those nice little features. It just ups your game a little bit, and more important than upping your game is obviously your content, the quality of your content, the value that you're providing. That's always, in my mind, number one. And then, the better your video quality can be, the better your audio quality can be, the better your lighting can be. That always helps. I was just talking to someone today that had been watching a little bit, at least, of these live streams, and they commented on how clear the image was, for example. So I hope that all of y'all are noticing and seeing a clear image. We are streaming, so we are also at the mercy of internet speeds, and I live out in the country, so I don't have the best internet. I certainly have better than I used to have, and still need to work on that some more. But I've been actually quite happy with the first now 7 nights with regards to the quality of what you're seeing. So, it's our goal to continue to up our game, but more importantly, to provide value to the community. So if we can do both of those, that's awesome. And, the next big thing for me really is to improve my lighting. So I really like, and that's one of the reasons why I wait until the evening, until this office is dark enough that I can basically have the accent light in the back and just light myself up, and then everything else is kind of darkened. But, I like that look. And to be honest with you, I'm on a mission to get my office and my wife's office, and we want to get it to where she can use it as well, get that to a point where it's presentable. Not only functional, but presentable. And to that end, I wanted to show one thing I wanted to show you. It's going to be, in essence, like a mystery. So I got this box here. So something fun. Maybe you can guess what is in the box. All I will tell you is it's related to upgrading my office. I would love to see what everyone thinks that it is. So let me know in the comments. Stuntman 311 says, how's it going? Hey, it's going great, Stuntman. So this is a comment from someone on Twitch. That's a platform that I've really been trying to promote and do something on. So that's cool that I have a comment there on Twitch. So I'm doing great. Hopefully, Stuntman 311, hopefully you're doing great as well. If you're not following me on YouTube, I do welcome you to come over to there. strammel.info/YouTube YouTube. That's a short link. It's just easier for me to remember, or you can just go to www.youtube.com/Shane Trammell. That works as well. Going to kind of wrap this up. I just wanted to say thank you for those of you that are either watching this live every night, and I'm going to try to get this to where I'm going again live at a more reasonable time. Like many of you, you've got a family, got a regular job, all the things, not making any excuses, because I don't need to make excuses because I'm just doing what's possible. And so this next 100 days, well, actually, again, 93 it'll be after tonight. Just want to go live for as long as I can within reason, probably no longer than an hour, and as early as I can in the evening. So I can't unfortunately promise what time. As much as that would be better, I will completely acknowledge that if I could go live at the same time every night, obviously more people could probably participate, plan, and potentially join. So my hope is that you'll get to see this, if not live, in the replay. So I will ask you again in the comments, and I think this is kind of where we'll wrap it up. In the comments, let me know things that you would like to talk about. Pretty much anything can be discussed, other than I don't want to discuss politics. Don't want to discuss religion just because it's not the intent of this particular stream. I am a Christian. I don't have a problem saying that, but don't want to really mix that in. My goal with these live streams are two. Primarily, again, to provide value to those that I'm connected with through these various different channels, and then secondly, very personal, is to just, for one, be able to say that I went live for 100 days straight. I think that will actually be beneficial for me to have done that, to get better and better at my delivery, learn how to not say as much, learn how not to say as much, try to learn how to look into the camera consistently better, all those things. So I highly encourage you to not only get a YouTube channel and to spend some time on it, I double encourage you to go live. You can go live to a unlisted YouTube video, or you can go live to a private Facebook group where no one could be there but you, unless you wanted to let other people in. And that private Facebook group could be your way of kind of watching your progress. So there could be no one knowing you're going live but you, and you could look at that over the weeks and see how you've improved, see where you need to, or where you believe that you need to make changes, and you can just use it as a tool to develop a valuable skill. I think it's a very, very valuable skill given where we're going, where we already are, to be able to be as comfortable as possible doing live streams. It's not easy for most people starting out, looking at a computer screen and, sometimes not even knowing who's seeing it, who's not. So, the last thing I will ask, if you're not on YouTube, that is my primary focus, although we're going live on 8 different platforms. One of my biggest goals is to get my YouTube channel to 1,000 subscribers. When you get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, you can join the YouTube Partner Program, and a lot of cool things come with that for those that want to continue to, kind of climb the ladder, if you will, of the YouTube ecosystem. So I'm at 300. I'd love to be at 400 tonight before I go to bed, which is not likely, but hey, if you share my channel with enough people, it might happen, and I would be forever grateful. For me, it's, I'd like to believe that it's an honest statement, that it's not about vanity. The reason I want to grow my YouTube channel is to grow my impact and influence. And then honestly, with that comes normally income. So nothing wrong with that. If you're impacting others, if you're able to, have influence on others, then, income is typically a natural occurrence from that. So I mentioned a lot of times about Gary Vaynerchuk's book, Jab, 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 Right Hook, translated give, and then ask. I've latched a hold of that, and I think it's a great philosophy. Can't always give. At some point, we have to ask and receive something. We do have to, ultimately, in the end, most of us have to have an income to pay our bills, obviously, to eat and all the things. I'm doing my best to model those types of things with my kids, those that are still at home, those that are away from home. Still thankfully get to have an opportunity to talk to them at times and see what they're doing, share my thoughts with them, all those kind of things. So I don't have anything else to say tonight. I do hope that here in the near future, I can be more organized, where I have maybe, a few slides, if you will, something that seems more polished. But I do hope that even just these talks have been helpful. Again, whether you've watched it live or if you're watching the replay, I know without a doubt, if I can get this going a little bit earlier in the evening, probably have more people live. I will say, and this will be definitely the last thing, if you're really looking to do more with live streaming, haven't live streamed, want to know what kind of equipment you may need, what technology you might need, those types of things, by all means, send me a direct message, put it in the comments here. I'll get back with you. You can send me an email at coach@oola, that's OOLA. So coach@oolashane.com. That's another way to reach me. You can go out there on Twitter @Shane Trammell, Facebook, Shane Trammell1, Instagram, Shane Trammell, that's TRAMMEL. A lot of different ways you can connect with me. Send me a message, and I'd be happy to see how I can help you. I honestly believe, or I wouldn't decide to talk about it for 100 days, about honestly primarily streaming, YouTube, social media, email, the changing economy with regards to how people make a living, those types of things, what I'm going to cover. Sharing with you my experiences in some of those areas and what I've found, again, that can be helpful. So I love challenges. I love helping people figure out how they can go to the next level. And that's really the bottom line. So I'm going to sign off for tonight. Thank you again for those of you that were here live. Those of you that are watching the replay, thank you as well. I appreciate your input. I appreciate you listening to what I have to say. And until the next one, good night.